record this today. We're gonna have a very short lesson. It's gonna be very easy. You're gonna understand it because you use this, but we are going to see it today as a type of grammar. The majority of you did very good on the exam. Congratulations. And if you didn't do good, make sure that you study for the next one. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the book. Next, in the next class, I have PowerPoint, but this one, I like to explain this to you on the board. And we are going to divide the class in two parts. Okay, let me show you what are the two parts. We're gonna talk about the page number 24. We are on lesson number 3, unit number 3. And I'm gonna focus on these verbs, make, have, let, and also convince. That's in the first part of the class. And then I'm gonna go up to this grammar. So we're gonna start by this, with these ones. And I'm gonna show you the board, and I will explain to you this. Now, we have different ways of expressing when we do something. And we also, we can also have people do things for us. It makes me, I feel like I already told you this, but I know it's a type of deja vu that I'm having right now. When you want a person to do something for you, what verbs do you use? Let me see someone of you know, if any one of you know, I mean. What verbs do you use when you want a person to do something for you? Like you have to do something, but you don't want to do it yourself. You want another person to do the activity for you.
I got an example. An example, well, it's more of a question.
Who is you? Who is you?
Adrian.
Adrian, you have to raise your hand. Remember, go on.
Okay. I have more of a question. It's like, could you do something for me? That's more of an example.
Right. Oh, so you asking the person to do it for you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good. What do you say, Noraima?
I was gonna say the same, but we can use can you, will you, I think.
Okay. So you mean that you are asking the person to do it for you, right?
Yes.
What about if you don't ask the person, like you don't do it directly, if you don't ask the person to do something for you? Like you just want them to do it.
Can I say?
Who is you?
Actually,
Yes.
is like he made something for me last night.
Okay. So he made something for you last night, right?
Yes.
What about if the person didn't make it? What about if you made the person do it for you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting you guys confused, but I like that. Okay, now let me show you. We have three main verbs.
I cannot listen the another part because someone put a speaker so in the area of my house, and I cannot listen very well.
Oh, don't worry. You know, you have to go to those people's house and tell them that teacher Alberto said that they have to put the volume down. Go and tell them. She didn't listen to me. I was just kidding. All right, guys. So here we are. We have three verbs that we can use when we want someone else to do something for us, right? I have to put for us, not for you. for us, sorry. And number one, we have make. That's one. Number two, we have And number three, we have no, it's not convinced. Sorry, guys. It is related to that. Sorry. Get. I don't know. So let's see what the teacher means. Okay. There is a huge difference. I'm going to give you 3 different sentences. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I know you guys will say, okay, but why the teacher didn't copy it? Guys, you need to write so you don't forget, you know? You have to write. Okay, so we have 3 different sentences, okay? I have my sister wash the dishes. I make my sister wash the dishes, and I get my sister wash the dishes, sorry. What's the difference then? Because in Spanish, I mean us, people who speak Spanish, right? Spanish speakers, normally use make for everything. Okay, I'm gonna make you do it. I'm gonna make you call my sister. I'm gonna make you come here. Everybody use make. It's very strange that when I listen to a person saying have or saying get. So what's the meaning of make? What is that? Meaning of make. What do you mean? What's the difference when you say I have my sister wash the dishes and I make my sister wash the dishes? What's the difference?
It's a little confused, teacher, because I can understand perfect in the third one.
The third one?
Yes, because in Spanish you can listen like it. Yo conseguí que mi hermana lave los platos, but the first one is so difficult that for me I can understand.
It's because you are translating, and it's very dangerous when you translate from Spanish to English and from English to Spanish, you know?
But this grammar I didn't I didn't see.
Right. Manuela, do you know? I see you say you need to know the difference, huh? Yeah, like everybody
Yes, I
says
need to know,
make.
teacher.
I know that you guys say make, right? And I'm gonna tell you now what this means. And guys, you will see that you don't have to use make. Make is not good. Let me show you why. We're gonna start from get, have, and then make. Get, right? We're talking about verbs. So don't forget, these are verbs, right? Don't forget about that. So verbs that we use when we want someone to do something for us. So get, you use it when you convince. When you convince the person, right? When you persuade, convince and persuade is the same thing. Persuasion, persuade, persuadir, convince, convencer, right? So that's when you use get. So if I say, I get, that is in present, okay? I'm talking about a habit, a routine, something that I normally do. So I get my sister wash the dishes, right? So my sister washes the dishes for me. If today is the day that I have to wash the dishes, I don't do it. My sister does it because I get my sister. I convince my sister. I persuade my sister to do that instead of me, you know? So this is good. This is cool. You convince her. I don't know what you told her that you will give her. Maybe you are going to, I don't know. Maybe she wants something, you know, in a good way and you're gonna do it, or you're gonna help her doing something. So you convince her, or you can go to her and tell her, oh, my dear sister, I love you. You know, you're the best sister of the world. I need you to wash the dishes today. You know, you are convincing. You are the most beautiful sister that I have ever had because you're the only one. And if you would wash the dishes for me today, you're gonna be the best. And I will remember you for the rest of my life.
My brother only says, I'm gonna give you 2,000 and
Oh,
I do it immediately.
so he is convincing you, right? Very good, very good, very good, very good. That's right. Now, what's the difference? Now let's see half. So half is when you pay or convince. You see? So your brother, Noraima, your brother has you wash the dishes, okay? Because
Okay,
he is paying you. He is not getting you. It's a type of you know, persuasion, but he's giving you money. And if he's giving you money, he's having you.
got it.
Right. Now, then, guys, we have make, and make is complicated. Make is when you force. When you force. It could be mentally or it could be physically. Okay. So when you say that you make your sister wash the dishes, you know what you're saying? That means that you are physically forcing her. You can grab her by the hands and tell them, you wash the dishes, you know? You forcing physically. Or you can force mentally. You know how?
Yes, teacher.
I don't know. Maybe your sister, uh, maybe your sister has a boyfriend that your father doesn't like this guy and he doesn't want your sister to see him, and you know that they having meetings in secret, right? They're having meetings in secret, and
Teacher.
sister knows that you know that she's meeting the boy. So if today is your day to wash the dishes and you tell your sister it's your turn today to wash the dishes, and your sister says, no, it is your turn. And then you say, okay, don't worry. I'm gonna tell daddy that you're having secret meetings with the boy. And then your sister says, okay, don't worry. It's my turn. I'm going to wash the dishes today. No problem. You see, you are forcing. So you making your sister wash the dishes. So when you know secrets about people and you force people do things for you, because if they don't do it, you're gonna say the secret, you are making people do things, you know? So whenever you say make, um, is actually when you are forcing. So don't use it because it's not good. Guys, give me just a second here. Olivia is about to sleep here on the table. So give me 1 second. Let me just tell her to go to bed then. Sorry, guys, I'm back. All right. Well, okay, Manuel, I saw yes. So now you guys know the difference, right? If you say make, you force, mentally or physically. If you say have, you are paying or you are convincing, okay? Now see the difference. In have, you can do both. You can pay or you can convince. But in get, you don't pay. You only convince and persuade. Okay, so that's the difference. Now, these are the three verbs that we normally use in English for these purposes. If you have noticed, think about you, think about yourself. How many times have you used make when you don't exactly mean that you're gonna force a person? When you wanna say something in a nice way, right? Or whatever, but you believe that you are saying something good, but it is not. So think about this. Next time you try to say that you want a person to do something for you, or that you're gonna make or a person do something for you. You know, be careful. It's not that people won't understand. It's not that they're not gonna understand you. They will. Maybe they will let it pass because, you know, they know that English is not your language, and maybe you don't know the difference between have, get, and make, and that's cool. But maybe you're gonna get an angry person who's gonna tell you, what do you mean you're gonna make me? You know? And that's the little part. If you have a question, ask now so I can clarify. You can ask now because I'm gonna go to the other topic. I told you this is very easy because you use it, you know the verbs already, and maybe you didn't
Teacher.
know. Yes.
So in make it the tense is more direct in when we use make
When you use make,
than the others.
you are rude. You're being rude because you mean that you force the
Seriously.
person whether the person wants or not.
Okay. Because
Yes.
it seems confused the the meanings.
Right. Look, at the end, this means the same thing. I mean, the sister is going to wash the dishes anyways, but what the difference is the way that you're gonna get the person, the
Okay, the
make the
intensive.
person to do that action. I mean, if you just convince the person in a nice way, if you pay or convince, or if you force the person to do the action, that's the only difference.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no more questions about that. Very good. You guys understand very quick, huh? I see. Now, we're gonna go. Remember, this is on page number, where is it? Page number 24, okay? From the material that you have. So you can go there and you can, you can review it. Now, there is an important thing that I forgot to tell you about when you use these verbs, okay? Notice this. Notice that when you use have, when you use make, and when you use get, what is it what you don't see after them?
What did you ask?
Okay, I will tell you. Look, when you use have in this situation, you don't have to use the particle to. You see here, you don't say I have my sister to wash. You don't say to. You don't use the infinitive after have, you see? I have my sister wash. In make, it is the same thing. So you don't say, I make my sister to wash. Instead, you say, I make my sister wash. You see, the particle to is not accepted in here. You see, I get my sister wash. So you don't use to either. When I say to, guys, I'm talking about the particle to that we normally use when we have a verb that is not conjugated. As you can see, wash is not conjugated in here. And the regular rule says that when you don't have a verb conjugated, you have to put the particle to in front of it, right? But in this type of sentences, you don't have to use it. I mean, don't put it there because it's not necessary, you see? This is what I mean. So these verbs, when you use them, they don't accept the particle to in the following verb. You see, we have this verb, which is have. This one is conjugated. Conjugated means that the verb is in combination with a pronoun, you see? And then we have a verb here that is in combination with any pronoun. So the normal rule says that when you see a verb like that alone, it needs to have the particle to normally. But in this type of sentences, when you do this here, I make, I get, I have, you don't have to use the particle to, okay? In the following verb. That's what I mean. You leave it like that without it. Did you understand that or do you have any questions?
We understand, teacher.
Teacher, can
Oh,
you repeat?
Santo.
Teacher,
Yes, yes.
I'm here.
can you repeat
I can see.
the last part to the grammar in when the use of to?
What I
It's
mean
optional.
is, what I mean is that, for example, you use these verbs with this purpose, of course. When you mean that someone is going to do something for you, you don't use the particle to in the following verb. In this one, in the second one, you don't have to use it.
Okay, I get it.
Because
Teacher,
you can say, for example, look at this. This is what I mean. I'm gonna give you a very different example just to show you that the rule says, I told you to do it. You see, normally in English, when you have a verb alone without any pronoun before it, we have to use the particle to. That's what we normally do. But when you are creating sentences of this type, like when you're saying that someone is going to do something for you, you don't use the particle to. In a normal sentence, listen to this, in a normal sentence, which is not this one, if we have a verb like that, we have to put to wash because it's not conjugated. There is no pronoun before it. Amen. Someone had another question. Someone said, teacher, who is it?
Magdalene.
Yes.
Why the verb watches don't confuse the third person? Because in this case, it's your sister that watches the dishes.
Uh-huh. Okay. So now one question. Are we, here it says, I have, right? I have. Who do you have? Who? Or what?
The sister.
The sister, which means that sister belongs to this, right? So here, sister is not doing any action. Okay, why sister is not doing any action? Because the verb wash doesn't belong to sister. You guys are gonna get confused, okay? Let me show you. So to avoid this confusion that you have, Magdalene, let's go to the next topic, because there is where you're gonna see why then wash is not conjugated, okay? Let's go to the next topic, and then if I don't clarify it, then you ask again. I'm going to save this sentence there so I don't forget. I'm gonna save it there. Okay. So the next topic, let me go and show you this. Hold on. Here we have another grammar that is very related to what we have been speaking about. These are some verbs. We have many verbs in English that we use to express orders, request, permission, persuasion, or advices. And you know all these verbs because you use them, and we're gonna have a list of them that you will have to classify. But let's go to the explanation first. As you can see here, he says, verbs that are followed by a noun phrase. Verbs that are followed by a noun phrase. Do you guys know what a noun phrase is? Noun phrase? What is a noun phrase? Let's see if you guys know. What is a noun phrase? Oh, I see nobody knows. You're gonna learn something new today. Okay, let me show you guys. Look at the first sentence here. Don't pay attention to order, no. Pay attention to the sentence. And tell me, what do you see in black, in bold? Can anybody tell me what you see in black in there? In this sentence, and this is the first one.
I see an action, teacher.
You see an action. Can you read what you see in black? This part.
You say I need to read.
Secretary.
Yes.
Oh, okay. In black say, told the secretary to type.
Okay. Told the secretary to type. All right. What is the name in there? What's the name? There is a name over there. There is a name over there. What do you say, Danny?
Mr. Smith.
Oh no, it's about what you read.
Okay.
The secretary.
The secretary, right? The
Yes.
secretary. Very good. Now, one question for you, Danny, if you know you can answer. Can you read the whole sentence now, Danny?
Yes, it says, Mr. Smith told the secretary to type a letter.
Okay, very good. Now I have a question, Danny, just to see if you know. I don't know. Who is the subject in the sentence? The subject is the person who does the action, right? Who is the subject in there?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. And then the question is, who is the secretary? Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
So
yeah, you having, or whether I'm having a problem with the audio or you having problems with the connection there. Let's see, Danny, let's see another person because I couldn't hear you. Guys, if Mr.
Teacher.
Hold on, Samuel. If Mr. Smith is the subject, the person who does the action, who is the secretary then? Samuel?
Is the receiver. The person
Who received the order, right?
the message. Yes,
Oh, okay.
the order.
Very good, very good. That's right, that's right, that's right. But
the receiver.
But that receiver has a name.
Noun phrase.
Noun phrase. That's okay. It's not the whole noun phrase, okay? The secretary is a noun, a name. I told you at the beginning, remember that the word name, okay? Name is for common people, people that don't study languages. Nouns, okay? A noun is a name. So the secretary is a name for a person who works in an office, an assistant, right? Okay, now, see this now. The sentence has the verb told, right? Now, told is conjugated with the secretary or is it conjugated with Mr. Smith? Which one is it? Noraima.
With Mr. Smith.
With Mr. Smith, right? So now check this. A noun phrase is a sentence that has a subject and it also has a noun. Okay, now let's check this. Let's put it on the board. Mr. Smith told the secretary to type a letter is the sentence, right? Okay, so Mr. Oops, that's not necessary. Smith told the secretary to type a letter. Okay, now check this. So a noun phrase.
I can see a teacher.
You can't see it. You cannot see it.
I can't.
Oh, okay, very good. What about now? I guess you can now, right? Okay, so phrase. I'm gonna put you this very easy, in a very easy definition so you guys don't get lost. A noun phrase is a sentence that has a subject. Oops, sorry about that. A subject and a noun. So that means that there are gonna be two names and you cannot get confused. The first name, in this case, Mr. Smith, is the subject. And you know it is the subject because this name is before the verb, okay? So the name that is before the verb normally is the subject. Then the name that is after the verb is the noun, okay? So let me put it there. Subject, the name before the verb. Remember, the verb is the conjugated verb, okay? And then we have the noun, which is the name after the verb, right? Now, guys, I have a question for you. What is the infinitive then? What is the infinitive? Infinitive, what is that? Oh, only Noraima, huh? Noraima, what is the infinitive?
I think it's a verb that is not conjugated.
A verb not conjugated. And how do you know that a verb is not conjugated normally? How do you know?
When it doesn't have a pronoun.
When it doesn't have a pronoun, but there is another way to identify it. Very
When, sorry, teacher.
yes, go
I
on.
think is when is without a particular to.
When it is with it or without?
Without, I saw without.
But without,
With.
with, okay. Okay. For example, if I ask you this, if I say I love and I say to love, which one is the infinitive?
The second one.
Love.
The second one, because it has the particle to. Normally, the verbs that are in infinitive, you recognize them right away because they have the particle to in front of them. Now, I have a question for any one of you. In the first sentence, do you see any verb in infinitive?
Yes.
Which one is it?
To type.
To type. Okay, so very good. Now, now that we know this, we know the three parts, okay? We know that a noun phrase is a sentence that has a subject and has a noun, and at the same time, there is an infinitive. Let's see, Mr. Smith is the subject, and the subject is before the verb, you see? Then we have the noun, which is the secretary. And the noun is after the verb, as you can see. And then we have the infinitive, which is to type. And we recognize it very easy because we see the particle to in here. Okay? Now, for the intelligent people, I'm gonna go down here and I'm going to ask you if we see a noun phrase in here. Do you see a noun phrase? Can we say that this is a noun phrase sentence? Yes or no?
Noun phrase, teacher.
It is a yes. There is a noun phrase.
Sister.
No, I mean, guys, the question is yes or no. Do you see a noun phrase in that sentence? Yes or no?
I think no, teacher, because
No, teacher, no, because
I
No.
said
No.
there is not.
No? Okay, okay. Now, can you tell me why not?
here,
Yes?
because
Why not?
yes, because well, we have in the sentence, the
Mhm.
sentence is in the first person,
Okay.
right?
Do you have a, oh, but
If, for
one
example,
question. Before you go on, before you continue.
okay.
What you have to know is the components of a noun phrase sentence. I'm going to ask you the questions, okay? You have the word. Do you see a subject in the sentence?
Yes.
No, but that's to the person who was talking. Was it you,
Yes.
Adrian? Was it you?
No, it wasn't me.
Who was it? There was a person talking? I don't know. I don't know who it was. I don't know. But the person who was gonna say that who was going to justify why was not. I'm just asking you. I'm trying to
I
tell.
got it, sir.
You got
Danny.
it. Who are you?
Danny. Danny.
I guess I'm having problems with my audio. Hold on.
Teacher, I want to say it.
Give me a second here. Yeah, Noraima, you're raising your hand since a long time. Go on.
Yes, thank you. I think it's not a noun phrase because
Yes.
it has a subject. It has a noun that is
Yes.
my sister, but it doesn't have a verb in infinitive.
Are
So
you
it's not.
sure? Are you?
Yes, I can see the particle too.
You cannot see it, right?
No,
And what did I say in the previous topic?
I don't know. I don't remember
Oh, you forgot.
that we don't use the particle too.
That okay, because this is an exception in this type of sentence.
Ah, so it's a noun phrase.
Yeah, do you remember when I said normally when you have the verb alone, you have to put the particle to, but in these cases, we don't use it. That's an exception to the rule.
Okay.
Those verbs have, let, and make are the ones that don't accept the to in here. You see? They're the only ones who don't accept, which don't accept the particle to, but the rest
It's okay.
verbs, they do. And let's take a look at the examples in the book. Let's go here. Let's see. Look at this. Mr. Smith told the secretary to type. He also warned her not to make. The secretary asked Mr. Smith to give. Mr. Smith didn't allow her to take. Instead, he persuaded his secretary to work. Did you see that in all the examples, we have the particle to? And this is,
Yes, now I have a question.
yes.
When we use have, make, and I forgot the other verb that you put at the beginning.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
No. I mean,
Get.
come again.
Get.
Repeat. I don't understand.
Get,
Oh,
make,
when we
and have.
have the verb have, make, and the other verb I don't remember. Get. Sorry. We don't use the particle to.
That's right. Look at this. Some verbs
Get, the other one. Get.
Some verbs are followed by a noun phrase and the base form of the verb, how?
Alone. Okay,
Alone.
I understand. And thank you, Santo.
Right, alone, right? Alone. You know what this means? That to be has the preposition to and the base form, which is be, right? To have has the preposition to and the base form, which is have. So this means that some of the verbs don't only accept the base form. not the preposition or the particle to. That's what it means. That's what I just said right here. You see, have only accepts the based form, which is wash, but the others accept the regular way that we know it with the particle to, not alone. Here we are. You see? After this explanation, it gives you some of the verbs that with a noun phrase, they don't accept the particle to. For example, he made his secretary work. He had her type. He didn't let her take. You see? Now we are not using the particle to after the noun. The noun here is the secretary. We don't have to work. We only have work. We have her. Her here is the noun. Remember that nouns can be replaced by pronouns. That's right. Here, he is the subject, right? But he can be replaced with a name, which is Mr. Smith. He can also be replaced by a name, Alberto. Praise me. For example, we also have Leandro, right? And Alexander can be he. What about she? She can be Eliani. She can be Cristal. She can be Albania, Alba. You see? So don't only think that the noun refers to a name. It also refers to a pronoun as well. Guys, let me know if you have questions. I guess you do, so I can clarify that for you. If I am going too fast, let me know. Oh, so if you don't say anything, that means that everything is clear. I like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, teacher. We
Wow, you're
understand.
very intelligent, guys. So let me take 3 minutes.
Teacher,
Yes.
do you will have any exercise?
Of course. That is gonna be the exercise that you're gonna have, the homework about that.
Okay.
Now, before that, I want to take 2 minutes and explain to you the final part of this grammar, which is very easy. Okay, I left it for last because it's easy. Let me erase this, and let me. Oops, this is going very fast, huh? I'm gonna erase everything. Okay. Guys, let me give you. I know that you know already that the negative infinitive is when you have the verb in with the particle to, right? Go, to leave, to sleep, whatever. I told her to come here. Do you see a noun phrase in that sentence? Do you see any noun phrase in there? Oh, you guys don't say, huh? You guys don't know if there is noun. Yes, Leandro?
Yes, teacher. It has the subject, the noun, and the infinitive.
Yes, very good. Okay, you see, we have 3 sentences. The 3 of them have noun phrases. And the three of them have the infinitive form, which includes the particle to come, to sleep, to leave. What about if you want to put the infinitive in negative? What about if I want to say that I told her no, and Maria warned me no, and she asked Robert no. I mean the opposite of what this says. What we do is only to negate the infinitive, okay? To negate the second verb, okay? What we do is that we add the particle not. We put the particle not in front of the infinitive. I told her to come. I told her not to come. Maria
Not to come.
sleep. Maria warned me not to sleep. She asked Robert to leave. She asked Robert not to leave. That's how we negate the infinitive. We put the particle not in front of it. Now, what about if the sentence doesn't have the particle? For example, I have Maria talk to my brother, or talk to me. Okay, imagine that Maria is my enemy, but I convinced her to talk to me again. So I have Maria talk to me. Okay, if you want to put it in negative, there is a mosquito flying trying to bite me. If you want to put it in negative, what you do is that you have to put not and then to. Okay, why? Because now we have the particle not, and we are obligated to put the particle to in front of it. I have Maria not to talk to me. Okay, remember, this is when the verb doesn't accept the particle to. What you do is that you add not, and you also add to as well, in this case, as you can see. So in negative, we have no problems. We only add it, and that's it. That's the negative infinitive, which means that you're going to negate the second part of the sentence, the second verb, which is not conjugated. And Leandro, do you have a question? There is a mosquito trying to bite me, guys.
No, teacher, no. Everything is clear.
All right. Guys, if you have questions, make sure that you watch the video again when I upload it to YouTube, okay? And from Monday on, I'm gonna make sure that I put the exercise about this lesson. We also have an extra homework because this week we didn't do anything. So the homework is gonna be easy and it's gonna be focused on the narrative. So you will have to write a short story, and you're gonna make sure that you add the 3 steps of doing a story. And that's it. Just wait for the homework and everything is gonna be there. So I'll see you later.
See ya, teacher.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Good night.